Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Mannado Sri Jagannatha Madguru Sri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. The only Guru of three religions, Traitatiram originator, sensational writer, emperor of spiritual kingdom, author of more than 100 divine holy scriptures, Sri 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 Acharya Prabodhananda Yogeshwar. So last week we could know about the thing that there is a destruction to the body, but there is no destruction to the immortal soul and the mortal soul. And also body anyway is perishable, and it undergoes 4,32,000 changes in a day, since body got the 10 physical parts. So, and we have the 43,000 seconds in a day. So when we multiply that with the 10, it comes 4,32,000 number. That number is given to the Kali Yugam. So that is the age. That is the age, we can say. So today let's learn the 19th Slokam in Sankhya Yogam chapter. Yayenam veti hantaram yachainam manyate hatam ubhau tau na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. So whoever thinks that he can kill the mortal soul and it can be killed, the mortal soul, so those two are ignorant. So Jivatma does not die, Jivatma cannot be killed. That's what. So I think this is the statement we gave. So this is the first time we are giving this statement. Nobody could tell earlier. You might not see this statement in any of the Bhagavad Gitas which are present on the earth except our Bhagavad Gita. So somebody may question that nobody could tell this, but how come you are able to tell? The answer for this is, so you might have seen so many Bhagavad Gitas, and there might be many great people who might have interpreted Bhagavad Gita. The mistake what they did is they did not categorize the three souls: immortal soul, mortal soul, absolute soul. So in Bhagavad Gita many places it's mentioned that soul. So when it is mentioned in many places, you have to look carefully and see what kind of soul. Is it a mortal soul? Is it an immortal soul? Is it an absolute soul? So that way, when you differentiate among the three souls, then you are able to understand it well. Here in this Shlokamu, so we are talking about the mortal soul, that is Jivatma. So of course this answer might give some hard feelings to those people who already interpreted this Bhagavad Gita, but when there is a truth, we should express it openly, without fear. So no need to fear for that, since when you hide the truth, that becomes a bigger sin. So and also somehow whatever they wrote in their interpretations, what we can think is there might not be a mistake from their side. We can think about a Maya or Satan. It is made by the God himself. So that's why, so the Satan or Maya might have deviated those people, because Maya will show much more influence on those people who are teaching the divine wisdom. When those kind of people who are not fully interested on the God, and if they are doing it for selfish purpose, then Maya won't let them reveal the true wisdom. So Maya easily will deviate them. So those people, whatever they express, the remaining people may think that this might be wisdom, but that might not be wisdom, because Maya already influences that. So that way they are failing over there. Uh, so anyway, so when you got interest in the God, you must thoroughly understand. You must understand the Bhagavad Gita with rationality in it. And this is the sensational matter what we are revealing over here, because nobody expressed this matter, revealed this matter earlier. So the sensational thing over here is, so there is no death to the mortal soul. And another sensational matter is, there is a death to the immortal soul. All these are revealed with scientific evidence, and we can say with rationality in it. Whenever we go in detail and know the matters, then all our questions will be answered in a proper way, and all our ignorance will go away immediately. So in Bhagavad Gita also, in one context, uh, mortal soul is called mortal soul is destroyed, and immortal soul is uh, undestroyable. He cannot be destroyed. So here in this case, if that is the case, here what we are saying, the immortal soul has the death, even though that is called kshara, and mortal soul has no death. So when we compare these things, some people may say that, oh, it's not yet confusion, or it's not isn't a mistake, you are saying that. So to answer that, we have an explanation with an example. If there is a person who is doing his job as a teacher in a village, what happens? He does his job in that village for 5 years. After that, there is a transfer. So during the transfer, what he does, he will transfer from one village to another village. There he will continue his job over there. He is designated as a teacher. So what's happening? So his job is not lost there. His job is continuing. But what happened there? He transferred from one location to another location. In the similar way, the mortal soul is living in the body. Whenever there is a death to the body, he is transforming into another body. There he is leading his life. So did he vanish? Did he die? No, he did not die. He is continuing his life in the another body. So when there is a retirement to the teacher, what happens? His job is lost completely. In the same way, when there is a final death to the mortal soul, when he gets the liberation, then the transformation into the another body stops there itself. The mortal soul gets liberation, he will become the absolute soul. He doesn't require to take birth again. That is the end. So no more bodies to him. So that's what. So that is why here the important thing you need to understand is that death is not a destruction, and destruction is not a death. There is a lot more difference between the death and the destruction. You have to understand that. So here we say there is no death to the mortal soul, but we did not say that there is no destruction to the mortal soul. In the similar way, we are saying the immortal soul can be killed, but we didn't say that he but we did not say that he can be destroyed. So that's what. So we need to understand thoroughly. Let's go in detail about the body, what the body constitutes inside. So, every body is embodied with two pair souls called mortal soul and immortal soul. Mortal soul cannot stay herself in a body without any support from the immortal soul. Immortal soul cannot be there. Nowhere it exists without the mortal soul. That's why both are called pair souls. So if one is present, another must present. If another is present, this one is must present. So both are like that. And the body, if you take that body from the head to the toe, each and every particle, all over the body, the immortal soul is spread. Its power is spread. Its energy is spread everywhere in the body. And where is the immortal soul located? He is located as a center portion in the center portion inside the head, and from there his conscious energy is spread whole body. He knows entire body, everything. But the mortal soul is like a tiny particle inside the head portion, and he does not involve in any task inside the body. But what he does always, he always experiences happiness and sorrow, happiness and sorrow. So to experience happiness and sorrow, the immortal soul has to do some work. He will perform the task. He will involve all the body parts to perform the task. When the task is performed, during the task performance, while the task is undergoing, the mortal soul will experience based on the task. If it is a good task, he experiences happiness. If it is a bad task, he experiences sorrow. That's what the mortal soul experiences inside the body. And there are, if you see, there are sensible organs in the body. There are 5 sensible organs: eye, nose, ears, tongue, skin. These are 5 sensible organs. All the matters related to the world are coming from these 5 sensible organs. Who is catching this information and passing it to the mortal soul? That is the one. He is mind. Mind is the one, the mediator, who carries the matters from the sensible organs and passes to the mortal soul. The mortal soul will experience all the matters. If the sensible organs do not provide any information, or if mind itself stops receiving the matters from the 5 sensible organs, then mortal soul is not going to receive anything. He is put inside the dark room. He will not know anything. He does not experience anything. So we can say the mortal soul is completely blind. He doesn't know unless the mind provides the matters to him. So, to functioning all the organs inside the body or outside the body, the organs, we have sensible organs, we have actionable organs, we have sensible organs powers, we have internal organs. All those organs, in order to function, who provides the energy is the soul, immortal soul. That immortal soul is the one who makes the organs functioning. So all the movements from the body because of the immortal soul. So that's why if the organs are not functioning, if the mind is not getting any matters and it is not passing to the mortal soul, it is the thing like the mortal soul is inside the dark room. So let us explain another example over here. Suppose there is a well. One person is there who took the bucket and he puts inside the well and takes that water out, and he pours into a small canal. From that small canal or some small from the small creek the water flows. If there is a person far away, not very far away, just a furlong away, if some person is there, there is a boundary to the farm fields, and there the water, the person who is uh, taking out from the well and pouring into the canal or creek, the person sitting a furlong away, he is able to drink that water. The water might be sweet, salty, or whatever it may be. The person who is going to take that water into his mouth, he is going to experience those kind of tastes. Um, so, in the similar way, we can think that the world is like a well. The world is like a well. The one who is using all the what we can say, the things, equipment. The one who uses the equipment to take out the matters from the world, and who provides that matters to the mortal soul, and mortal soul experiences those of happiness and sorrow. Here the one who is taking out the water is Atma, and the water is like a water can be a salty or sweet, whatever it may be. That is the one who experiences, the mortal soul experiences. Here the equipment he uses, or we can consider they are the sensible organs, or the equipment. And the canal, we can consider the canal. The canal is a mind here, because we knew earlier that mind works like a mediator. Canal is a mind. And the utensil or bowl which the person, the mortal soul, used to drink that water, that utensil, we can say it can be the buddhi. The matters here, the matters are the water, and the utensil is the buddhi or intellect, and the mind is the canal. The equipment he used to take out the water are called the sensible organs. The one who is taking out water is called Atma over here. So, like that, when the task is going on, if there is an accidental thing happens to the to a person, and who falls inside the well, is the chance is only to the immortal soul, not to the mortal soul. He is far away, not to the person who is far away, a furlong far away person. So he cannot fall inside the well and dies. The one who does is the one that to whom it happens is only to the uh, immortal soul. So here, uh, so according to the other interpretations, what it makes is they wrote like the person sitting far away who is taking the drinking the water fell inside the body. According to our explanation, the exact truth is revealed over here. So there is a chance to the immortal soul to die, not to the mortal soul over here. So here, that is what, there is no death to the mortal soul, there is a death to the immortal soul over here. So here we need to know the difference between the suicide and the murder. Here, let's explain it in a more detailed manner. Suppose there is a criminal, he is put inside the jail, there is a supervisor to him who will be supervising him always, and always he is tied with a chain with that. So one person, he is supervisor, he is always supervising the tasks what he is performing over there. And the criminal, anyway, the criminal person who performed the crime, he is undergoing the punishment over there. So he is under the punishment because of his bad deed. So when he is experiencing the punishment in the jail, what happens, whenever he does mistake again and again, then what this supervisor will take it into account, and he will write that mistake on the criminal's name. So again it is calculated, and all the what is that, all the list is with him, all he will record it, and it will be enforced on him again and again. In the similar way, if we consider our body itself is a jail, we consider, and the body is maintained, who makes the movements and who is providing the conscious energy to it to move and all those things, is the immortal soul. And the immortal soul is witnessing what mortal soul is thinking, is experiencing inside the body, and also how he is getting the ego with the task. We know that mortal soul is not going to do any task, but he experiences happiness and sorrow. But what he is doing, because of the ego he is expressing on each and every task, he is getting more and more karma. So that's what happening inside the body. So the body is like a jail. uh, so so as it is happening outside, in the outside world, how it is happening with respect to the jail and the supervisor and the mortal soul, same thing is happening inside our body also. So whenever the criminal person who performed the crime, when he transfers from one jail to another jail, that time also this supervisor goes along with him. So the same way, whenever mortal soul is transforming from one body to another body, immortal soul is going along with him. Since mortal soul cannot do any task, all the tasks are done by immortal soul. So that's what the thing is happening. So the transformation from one jail to another jail, we can consider it as a death. So the mortal soul transforming from one body to another body, it is similar thing over there. So that's why there is an initiative karma everybody is experiencing in their body. When that initiative karma is written for a person when he borns, that should be for his entire life. When and in his entire life he has to go through he has to experience that karma. So while initiative karma is not ended, not over, if he attains the death in between, so that is called the untimely death. So that is called untimely death. The untimely death can happen in two ways. So one is by uh, killing himself. When somebody kills the body, and another one is the body killing itself. That means we will come to know clearly on that. So in these two processes, in one process mortal soul go away first, go out from the body first. Another way, in another situation, the immortal soul will go out from the body first. But whichever goes out, definitely two pair souls go out immediately. But there is a small difference. Which one is going out first? So based on that, we can say whether it is a suicide or whether it is a murder. So that's what two things we need to know based on the immortal soul or mortal soul who is exiting from the body. So we will consider whether it is we are able to say whether it is a suicide or it is a murder. So among three souls in the Bhagavad Gita, what Bhagavad Gita says in Purushottam Prapti Yogam, chapter 6, in 16th and 17th shlokas, Kshara, Akshara, Purushottama. That means destructible, non-destructible, and the absolute soul. Destructible soul, non-destructible soul, absolute soul. Kshara, Akshara, Purushottama. So, in the same Bhagavad Gita itself, even the body is destroyed, the mortal soul is not going to be destroyed. So, he is not perishable. We have come to know in this Bhagavad Gita. So, based on the context, the meaning will be changing over here. That is why at one place we are saying he can be destroyed. In another place we are saying he cannot be destroyed. This is about mortal soul. With respect to the body, even though body is destroyed, the mortal soul is not getting destroyed. That's what you need to understand. In other case, so finally the mortal soul is going to be destroyed. When it happens? With respect to the karma. When karma is completely gone, then only he is going to be destroyed. Then he is destructible. So before that, he has no destruction at all. There is a destruction to the body, not to the mortal soul. So that's why when there is a final death, when there is no karma at all to experience by mortal soul, that we say it is a liberation, then he becomes the absolute soul. So that is why in whichever the context we use, the same context when we use for the immortal soul, even though by nature immortal soul has no destruction at all, here when we think about a body, he has a death. He has a death here in this context. So in the suicide, in the murder, when we say about the suicide, we say that the immortal soul is killed here. So in order to understand this matter clearly, we should go in detail here. So and also in this Shlokamu it is said that hantina hanyate. So that is why we had to give so much explanation like this. So murder, what is murder? So the murder means it's by somebody else. Suicide means himself. Everybody knows this one. If there is a murder, what we say, if somebody kills somebody, we say it is murder. If somebody gets suicide, then we say it is suicide. But we need to understand in a reverse manner. Here, the dharmas, righteousness became unrighteousness. Dharmas became adharmas. That is why we are talking about murder where there is a suicide. We are talking about suicide where there is a murder. So that's what it interchanged here. So that's why the death to the creatures is of two types. One is the timely death, another one is untimely death or accidental death. So in order to know more in detail, you have to read the birth and death doctrine written by Sri Acharya Prabodhananda Yogishwaralu. So it is there much more detail. You have to read that one so that you can understand thoroughly. So the mortal soul is inside the body because of the karma, and he is experiencing happiness and sorrow. So, the task of the mortal soul inside the body is to experience happiness and sorrow. That's it. He doesn't do any task. So, to experience happiness and sorrow, who has to work? The body has to work. Who will provide the conscious power to the body? The immortal soul is providing the conscious power to the body, so that body is able to move here and there and do the task. Because of those tasks, the happiness and sorrow is experienced by the mortal soul. So body cannot move herself. It doesn't do anything because it has no conscious power herself. The conscious power must be provided by only immortal soul. So he has to provide that power, then only body can move. But whenever that is happening, the mortal soul inside the body, he is always thinking that he is doing the task, he is moving here and there, and everything he is thinking, because he thinks that he is the one who is behind the task, but he has no power at all. We knew that. He is thinking that he is the reason for every task. But in reality, the mortal soul and immortal soul both are different. Whatever the task to be happened from the body, every task is done by the immortal soul inside the body. Let's come to the actual point over here. So, if you take a body which has life in it, there are two souls inside that, though they are called pair souls, the mortal soul and the immortal soul. So this is applicable to every creature on the earth. You take human beings, animals, birds, insects, whatever you take, whichever are living on the earth or living in the ocean or water, anything you take, every creature if you take, inside that creature there are two souls. One is mortal soul and another one is immortal soul. So let us say if there is a lizard which is crawling on the wall, all of a sudden if there is some mistake by that, immediately it falls on the ground. When it falls on the ground, suddenly what happens? Its tail cut. When its tail is cut, what happens? The tail will shake for moments like 3 seconds or 4 seconds. It will shake. After that, all the movements will go away from the tail. But whereas the lizard will crawl away, it will go away. So when we take about immortal soul is the one for entire universe you consider, but it is cut into pieces and each piece is inside every creature. So such immortal soul is inside the lizard also. So that immortal soul is spread whole body of the lizard from its head to the tail. When there is a cut in the tail is shaking for some moment, and after that the movement goes away, it becomes dead. So there is a portion of the conscious power, the immortal soul is cut over there and gone. In the similar way, when you take a hen or rooster, so if you want to cook it and eat it, what you will do? You will first cut it. You will cut throat. Then what happens when throat and body is separated from the rooster or the chicken? What happens? The chicken body will jump here and there for some seconds. After that, the immortal soul or conscious power inside that goes away and it dies immediately. So there are no movements at all. So here also what happened? The immortal soul is cut into two pieces, and one piece is gone. Two pieces, after some time, two pieces separated. There is no connection from the head to the body, because the immortal soul sits inside the immortal soul's center is inside the head, and the connection is cut from the head to the body. there is no place to living by immortal soul and mortal soul inside the body. So there is a death to the whole chicken itself. Let us consider another live example. What happened? So there is a person, there was a person who was walking along with a bike uh, nearby the rails. That rails are on the bridge. So the bridge height from the ground is 30 feet. Suddenly he slipped from the rail. That guy fell on the ground. When he fell on the ground, his spinal cord split into two parts. So in front of that guy, he could able to see his legs were shaking. After some time, what happened? The movements, everything, the sense, everything is gone from the legs and his stomach portion, because his spinal cord broken completely, and the connection, the big nerve is there, right? That big nerve which will provide the conscious energy to whole body is struck before the stomach portion itself, and all his digestion system and other organs, everything stopped functioning. So he could survive for just 2 days. After that he dies. So that's what, because the conscious power flow is stopped over there, he could not survive for the longer itself. That's why we got mistaken to understand the real truth over here. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it was said that uh, it cannot be cut with a weapon, it cannot soak in the water, it cannot burn, it cannot be burned, it cannot be cut, it cannot be soaked, it cannot be washed away with the wind or air. When it was said, many people said this one to the uh, mortal soul, immortal soul only. Immortal soul. That is the wrong thing. It should be, it is applicable to mortal soul. Since mortal soul is inside the head, is a tiny particle, nothing can do to him. So immortal soul is spread whole body. You can do anything to the body. Whenever you do something to the body, it will directly apply to the immortal soul, not to the mortal soul. So that's what. Whenever you come to this truth, you may think that something you are thinking in a crazy manner. No, it is the truth. We could explain about the examples, right? So the conscious power, immortal soul, is spread whole body. When there is a cut, when it is cut, then there are two parts. So even one part is shaking out, is shaking for some time, some moments, it makes some movements for 1 or 2 seconds. After that, movements are gone. Death is happening over there. So to whom it is coming? It's coming to the immortal soul only there. So we could not able to understand properly. That is what the mistake we are doing. So whenever a animal hunts another animal, so there also the immortal soul is getting killed, and if somebody chops some person wantedly, there also immortal soul is getting killed over, is murdered over there. That's what the thing is happened. So after this many incidents, we considered, we explained over here, we came to conclusion that so Atma can be cut into pieces, and the immortal soul is getting the he's he's also uh, going along with the immortal soul when there is a death. So when death happens, that death is coming to the mortal soul because immortal soul is going under getting killed or dying, we can say. So according to this, if some person takes a knife and kills some other person, then the immortal soul which is spread entire body is also is chopped there itself. So that we call it is a suicide actually. So that is the right word we should use. So if somebody uh, if the person himself takes away his life, that is called murder actually. So it is not suicide, but we came to know that we are using the suicide and murder in wrong manner. So according to the examples what we explained over here, discussed over here, we should say suicide means uh, the one who kills another. Murder means killing himself. So, in Bhagavad Gita, 16th sloka, it was said about the immortal soul and mortal soul, both of them. And also, in the case of murder, what happens when immortal soul dies, immortal soul is killed, immortal soul will go out from the body. First, immediately the mortal soul go along with it. So that is called the actual suicide. That is called killing the immortal soul. So, in another case, if there is a person who hangs himself with a rope, so what is happening inside the body is the whole body is spread by immortal soul. Actually, that immortal soul is doing every task. So, expelling the mortal soul from the body is also done by the immortal soul because the immortal soul, what it does, it makes the body not convenient to live inside the body by the mortal soul. That's why, so in that case mortal soul will be expelled first, then immortal soul follows that one. Anyway, in two cases both mortal soul and immortal soul will go out from the body instantly, but there is a sequence which one is going first. So based on that we can decide whether it is a suicide or whether it is a murder. So that's why when death is directly coming to the immortal soul, it is called suicide. When death is directly coming to the mortal soul, it is called the murder. So that's what two things we need to know over here. And also one more example over here, if you take the wisdom fire or divine fire, so if a person gets the divine fire inside the body, it will destroy the accumulated karma inside the body. If some person sends the wisdom fire onto the another person, so there another person's initiative karma is going to be burnt. So here the wisdom fire is the one. Wisdom fire is the one. In the same way, death is the one. So how death is called murder and the suicide, we got the explanation, right? Here also the wisdom fire, when it is applied inside the body, it is destroying the accumulated karma. When the wisdom fire is working on another one's body, then that is destroying the initiative karma over there. So that's why we got explanation very well over here. So I think there is no doubt about the actual suicide is what and actual murder is what. Let us stop here and we'll discuss remaining thing in the next week. Let us do Prardhana and end the session. Let's do Mangala Prardhana and end the session. Om Mangalam Gurudevaya Mahaniya Prabodhatmane Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Sadhurupaya Mangalam. Prabodharpanam to all. Thank you.